I hope all of my Gen Z homies are ready to stand on business because Logan Paul and KSI just tried to disrespect the legend himself, DanTDM. Now, if you knew anything about the internet, you would know to not fuck with this guy, but clearly these two have become so brain dead in their kind of world of business that they haven't learned to understand that there are certain people you don't cross lines with, and DanTDM is one of them. Now, for those of you that are a little bit confused, Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast have just released a brand new product by the name of Lunchly. Essentially, it's a healthier alternative to Lunchables.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar.
Whoa.
Feastables Crunch
Yeah!
Bar. Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese.
Ooh.
We're also 30 less calories, 3 less grams of fat, and 8 less grams of sugar.
Overall, the product doesn't seem too bad, at least if we're comparing it to Lunchables, that is. And DanTDM decided to come out and say a couple words about it, so here's what he said. What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know any better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better. Now, DanTDM fucking snapped here. I know we've seen YouTube products in the past like merchandise and a couple figures or toys or something like that, but nowadays we are seeing complete YouTuber products. I mean, we've got Feastables, we've got Prime, we've now got Lunchly as well. And these aren't the only creators making products. We've got Pokemon's shitty cookies, which are super overpriced. I'd be surprised if they're still in business nowadays. We've got FaZe Rug's candy, which to be honest actually seems like the only decent one out of all of them. But anyway, obviously Logan Paul and KSI had to respond to this, and here's what Logan Paul said. I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't see anything when Lunchable faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset? Then don't eat it. Now, in fairness to Logan Paul, I know a lot of people are going to be really pissed off with this, but he's made quite a fair point here. If you've spent your entire life building up an empire and you've basically achieved everything within that realm, the next best thing to do is build a business. And that is what they're starting to do, apart from they're being a bit sketchy with it. I mean, we've seen a lot of problems with Prime, a lot of problems with Feastables as well. And if we're taking that into account and we're looking at their most recent product, there's a chance there's going to be a fair amount of issues with this as well. And also just want to take note, this post did actually get community noted. It just says Prime Hydration was filed against that for including lead on 3 separate occasions, with the third being on 24th of March 2024. So that was pretty recent, to be honest. It was like 6 months ago. Anyway, KSI with his big ego had to come out and obviously try and insult DanTDM, which I don't fuck with this. You can argue back like Logan Paul. Logan Paul was fairly respectful with it. But KSI, he's always got his ego out there. He has to try and one up someone else, and he fucking failed big time here. So he tweeted saying, looks like crap to me, and just showed a bunch of kind of toy products that DanTDM had collaborated with. These are literal sponsorships. He doesn't own these. And, you know, this would have been in all good spirit if he hadn't taken part in the exact same thing. These are identical. Tube Heroes and U2s. If that's not hypocritical, I don't know what is. That's just embarrassing at that point. Anyway, obviously a lot of people kind of mentioned that, hey, you know, DanTDM was talking about food here and not toys. And KSI just had to respond to this, but he was talking about food, JJ. He was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on Munch Pack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now what? Now, I've got a couple of things to say about this. The first thing, this is very old, and I think healthy eating has only really come into popularity over the last 4 years, maximum. I think before that, yeah, it was always there. It always has been and it always will be, but it's become a lot more popular nowadays, especially if we're talking products as well. Like, I can't walk through the supermarket without seeing bread saying 4 grams of protein per slice. Go get your bread. Oh my gosh, it's so healthy. I mean, it's just a marketing tactic nowadays, and DanTDM here is clearly very young. I can't say how old he is exactly, but this is a long time ago, and it's not like he's promoting it now. This is a previous thing that he's done in the past. And not just that, the Munchbox that KSI has shown here includes 10 plus full-size snacks, which I'm guessing maybe you get 15 snacks in the box, and these are like crisps, chocolate, sweets, some other little things. So let's say you spread those across a month, you have one every other day. With Lunchily, you're going to be having it pretty much every day. I'd like to say that overall, you're probably not going to be containing that much more sugar. So this argument in itself is just ridiculous. Anyway, obviously Logan Paul was attacked for the product and he did a pretty good job at defending it. He even took down a couple community notes, so you've got to rate that. And it turns out that they do actually make sure that there's no lead in the meal, so a metal detector. So for the general product itself, it doesn't look terrible and they do seem to have done a fairly good job on it. So I do rate the product. Obviously, I want to see a lot more kind of tests on it to really make sure that it is a safe product, especially to be giving to children. But disrespecting DanTDM, what on earth were you thinking? Anyway, obviously Mr. Beast had to chip in a little bit. He doesn't say anything bad about DanTDM, so Mr. Beast, you've earned my respect for this one. Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better fuel alternative to it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese, they use a cheese product, they can't call it cheese, high quality meat, etc. So that's what I'm saying. The actual product itself seems to be fairly good. It's healthier than Lunchables, which is kind of the whole point. But let's carry on. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, then I think giving them a high quality version at roughly the same price is a net good in my opinion. I mean, this is definitely the middle ground right here, because I understand why they've launched a product. Obviously, they want to make money, and their direct competitor is Lunchables. The same way with Mr. Beast Feastables being Hershey's and Primes being, I guess, other hydration drinks like Lucozade. I don't know if you have that in the US, but Lucozade would be a prime example of that. And as long as that product is better than what the other competitors are currently offering, then they're not exactly doing a bad thing. I understand their audience are children, but it's the exact same for Lunchables as well. And if you can direct that audience to a slightly healthier alternative, then maybe the product isn't all too bad. But overall, you should never disrespect my boy DanTDM like that ever again. That absolute legend made our childhoods. I can 100% say that as well. I fucking love that guy. Dr. Trioris, I think that's how you say it. It's been a long time since I watched his videos, so if I am wrong, I do apologize for that. But yeah, don't you ever disrespect my boy like that ever again. I will stand on fucking business. I'll step in the ring against both of you. I have a boxing ability. As long as I get a couple hooks on your noses, that's all I care. I have DanTDM in my corner chanting, fuck you guys. And yeah, man, don't disrespect my boy like that. That's about it. See ya.